Hi and welcome to another video from RiderCamTV. Toby here. We're going to fit onto our BMW 1200 GS Adventure today some Rizoma up and back bar risers. Now, I really love the way that Rizoma present their stuff. Proper case, proper packaged, and we're going to fit them onto our bike. So one thing that I've noticed on the 1200 Adventure on a long journey for me personally, I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and I've noticed that I've been getting a real pain right in my right shoulder, right in my right elbow, right here. Now I don't know whether that's the start of tennis elbow or whatever it might be, but it feels to me like I'm leaning over just that slight bit too much, or just got an overextension with my right arm, just a tiny bit much. So I'm going to fit these up and back risers. They'll go up and back probably about an inch, inch and a half up and an inch, inch and a half back, which will be able to provide me with that that bent elbow as I'm riding, just to take out the pressure on this muscle here. Just to give you an idea of how high the normal risers are, you can see here that the bar's fitted right inside these, and basically the new ones, we'll take that clamp off, take the handlebar and set it aside, and then we'll put the new risers in there, bolt them in, and then put this into the new riser, and you'll see that it will take it up to about there and back. So first thing we're going to do is remove these 4 bolts. And bear in mind, when you do loosen them, the handlebars are going to become very loose. So I just like to leave them there, and I'm just going to get some tape so I can mark the centres. So just before I take my handlebars off, I want to make sure that I know where they're going to fit next time. So just put a couple of bits of black tape around, just so that I know where the bracket should go, and that will keep the handlebars evened out for me, hopefully. I am just holding on to the handlebars just so they don't fall, because I don't want to damage them or the bike, just so that I can remove all 4. And then I've put the rag there so that I can just place the handlebars just down there. So they just rest nicely, so you're not going to damage anything. So first things first, we need to put these 2 on, and I'm just going to place that one on there. The longer bolt goes in the front, and then the shorter in the back. And it couldn't be simpler because they line up quite simply by the holes underneath. And these are Allen keys, so I'm going to do these up quite tight, and it says that it should be between 22 and 24 Newton meters, so I'm just going to crimp them up for now so that I can do the video, and then I'll crimp them up with a torque wrench after. So now the next part, now that I've got them on there, I've screwed them in and I've torqued them up. Now the next part is to just seat the handlebars in where you want them to sit. And just see, I'm going to crimp up those, just to start with, I'm going to crimp up the tops and get the first one on there just crimped up so I can hold the handlebars, because you can imagine just being there on your own, it's a bit hard to hold on to everything. As you can see, I've not done them up very tight at all, so that I can just hold just enough so that I can hold the handlebars steady, so that I can get the handlebars in the right place, and then I can crimp everything up. Now the one thing to take real notice of is when I turn these handlebars, you want to make sure that those cables aren't being extended and ripped out of where they should be. But as you can see on full extent there, there's still quite a bit of play around in there. Now in the booklet it does say to put these underneath here, but that would involve taking the whole load of cables out, unplugging them, and for the fact that you're hardly ever on full extension of a full lock, it actually doesn't pull it very tight at all. I have noticed, I don't know whether you can see down inside there is a little black clip, and like on my last bike, what I had to do was just remove that zip clip just to give it a bit more freedom, and then it doesn't seem to pull anything out of shape or pull anything too tight at all. So the clip that we've removed from down there is just a common garden zip clip, and it just housed and held these cables together, but it held them just a little bit too tight, and as you can see it's given really a lot of movement. So when it's on full lock it looks like it's pulling them all tight, but it's really not. There's quite a lot of slack up here as well, so I know it's not pulling it too tight, and the other side is much the same. So now we've fitted the handlebar risers, and I have torqued up the 4 bolts to 22 to 24 Newton meters, as it says in the instructions that came with them. You can see that they actually look really nice on the bike. As you turn the handlebars, they're nowhere near the actual bike, so you can rest assured that they're not going to damage anything. For people that are worried about the fact that it pulls some of the cables, what looks to be quite tight, it really isn't hugely tight. I have had these handlebar risers on my previous adventure, and I had them on there for about 10,000 miles when I rode around the UK and around Europe with no problems whatsoever. So don't be worried about them looking as though they're a little bit tight. They're really not. I think that it adds something extra to the bike. They're nice, they're shiny, they really go well with the bike. But for me, it really does improve the position. So rather than me having my arm extended right out, it's literally just there, and I feel that it's a lot more comfortable. One thing to note, when you've put these on, or any risers, and you go back out onto the bike, after 10-20 miles, when you come back, just make sure that they're torqued up again, because bearing in mind this is the one place that controls your bike for the steering and all of your controls, you want to make sure it's tight and it's not going to fail on you. When you're taking your first ride, just be mindful that now your riding position will be changed slightly, and with that riding position having changed slightly, make sure that you're aware that that's going to happen, because it will feel quite strange on the first few miles. Believe me, after the first couple of miles you'll be really used to it. It will give you a better seating position, a better riding position, and make the GS adventure and your experience of the GS adventure much more pleasurable. So if you've enjoyed this video, give us a massive thumbs up. It really does help us out. Hit that thumbs up button down there. If you've put some on your bike, or if you're thinking about putting some on, give us some comments down below. Give us a shout. Let us know what you're fitting. Remember to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.